Hi, good morning. So, what I'm going to do right now is just show you some basic navigation through the Greater Wall. So, I've already downloaded the zip file and ran through the setup. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. You'll notice that the first thing that it asks you is whether or not you want to run the Active Directory module. If you do, you just need to specify the IP of the domain controller. But we're going to go ahead and skip this for right now. I'll make a video about that at a later date. Once you go ahead and skip this, it's not going to ask you every time you go into the Greater Wall. It'll remember. All right, so the first thing that it wants you to do is specify the targets. You have a few options here. Option one, you can have a list of IP addresses in a text file. You can use the IP address entry tool, which is pretty cool. I'll show you that. You can have a list of host names in a text file, or you can just run it locally on this machine, depending on the scenario that you're in. You might not have the ability to run remote PowerShell on certain endpoints or servers, and you might have to load the entire framework onto that machine and just run it locally, and then kind of copy your files, your results off of it when you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose option number 2 to enter my targets. All right, so I can either enter my targets in a comma separated format. I can do CIDRs, I can do a range, or I can do any combination of those three things. So just for show, I'll say that I'm going to do 10.0.50.0 hack 24. All right, so it knows that we have 254 IPs, and it wants to know if we want to test the connectivity. Those obviously aren't real. I'm just sitting here at home. I don't have a lab that has a whole hack 24 in it. I'm just going to go ahead and skip that connection test. All right, this is very, very important. You need credentials. 9 times out of 10, any issue that you would come across when you're using the Greater Wall can always be traced back to the credentials. Maybe you fat fingered it. I don't know, but a lot of the times the credentials are incorrect. But it is very important. So I'm going to choose option 1. It'll prompt me. You probably can't see this on my screen right now because the screen recorder doesn't record these little credential boxes. But just know that right here, maybe you can see my mouse, maybe not. In the middle of my screen, I have a pop-up box prompting me for my credentials. All right. Gives you a chance right here. If you know you fat fingered it and you want to just try again immediately, you can go ahead and do that. But I feel confident that I typed the credentials correctly, so I'm going to choose no. And this is the main menu. You have 3 options. You have host collection, event log collection, and post-process and analyze data. So to see what's in these menus, just choose the corresponding number and hit enter. And these are the modules that I have available to me to run. You'll see up at the top, it kind of gives you a preview of what your environment looks like. So I'm in the host collection. My credentials are accepted by the Greater Wall. This will always say yes if you give it credentials. So there's no good way or no way at all to verify that the credentials that you provided are going to work. It believes whatever you tell it. It has no other option. So this is just saying that, yes, you did input credentials. You didn't forget to do that. And then targeted endpoints, 254. Now, if you want to go back in the Greater Wall just type back at this menu. Now we can go into event log collection. These are the modules I have available in event log collection. I'll go back. When you choose option 3, it's not really a menu. I'll show you that in a later video, but let me go back to the host collection menu. You'll see right here at the top, additional administrative commands are available using this syntax, admin commands. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what those are. Admin tech commands. And these are the admin commands. This allows you to kind of mold your environment. It'll allow you to reset your creds, show targets, add targets, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now, one of the very important things here is that occasionally you might want to pop in and out of this framework. You might want to, go back to a regular PowerShell prompt, because you can see the prompt here is this little hashtag, the greater wall prompt, and things like, I don't know, get child item. That's not going to work because this isn't really a PowerShell prompt. So to get out of the framework, simply Control C. Right, I'm going to do it right now. Control C. Okay, so now I'm back in my greater wall folder, and I can poke around. I can CD to my results. I don't have any results because I haven't run anything yet. But now to get back into the framework, you just type TGW. It's an alias that's created in this ISE session. So TGW to get back in. And you'll notice that when I went back into the framework, it didn't prompt me for all that crap again. It didn't say, specify the domain controller and, do you want to use creds or any of that, because it remembers. So I'll go ahead and show creds. Okay, so I'm operating with the creds from this PS admin account. That's just the local user that I made. If I want to reset creds, right back at this menu. This looks familiar. I'm not going to actually do it. Let's see what other. Oh, I could show targets. These are all of the targets that I had specified. So this is 254 IP addresses. I can add targets. Add target. I can enter it manually. So I want to do, I don't know, 30.30.30.30. Okay, now if I do a show targets, see, it's right here at the bottom. Now, if I want to go ahead and remove target, I can choose it from a list, or I can enter it manually. Let's try choosing it from a list. All right, so it's number 255. All right, what other admin commands do I want to show you this morning? Well, I think that's about it. The point of this video is just to kind of show you how to navigate through the greater wall, choosing menu options, typing back, things like that, using some of the admin commands. So in my next video, I'll show you how to run some of the modules and view your results.